Lana Del Rey, Henry, come on, let's talk about it.
Don't you love it when things are both easier and more affordable? Like when the rain washes your car for you. Or like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Music Reviews Season 11. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. It is a Thursday night, or a Friday night if you want to be technical now, and Lana Del Rey has officially returned to making fucking music and dropping new music. Now, I remember we talked about Lana Del Rey all the way back a couple of months ago with that Weekend feature. So, let's get into this new song. This new song is called Lana Del Rey, Henry, Come On. Let's get into it, starting off with this instrumental. And, you know, I really got to start talking about this instrumental because it is beautiful to listen to. When you're listening to an instrumental, guys, I think, you know, I love how you have those strings that are just going absolutely insane. And this instrumental is the simple guitar, you know, instrumental, but it's got some layers to it. It's got some love to it, which, you know, I've been, you know, complaining about for a past few months now, or honestly years now of this damn show, is that, you know, I listen to songs or pop songs and they don't really have any of this, like, love and care, you know? They like these, like, deep emotional songs, but, you know, the instrumental's not deep and emotional. So I like that this guitar is simple, but it has this, like, soft feeling to it. I love the mixing on the guitar. You know, it's kind of soft feeling. You know, it's kind of got this vintage sound to it when you're listening to it, and it just overall really brings up the vibe of the song. So I really do enjoy that. You know, the strings on this, too. That little soft kind of vintage sound guitar, you know, adding those great strings and these chords too, those little hints of piano that really just bring out this instrumental and just make it so beautiful. Guys, this instrumental is so beautiful.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Walmart. New beauty is in bloom at Walmart, and it's all about springtime radiance. From Drybar, Tula Skincare, and hundreds more available online, Walmart has the premium brands you want and this season's on-trend products for flawless, glossy hair and hydrated skin. Big name beauty brands? Check. The things you love? Check. Find trending spring beauty and all you need to look and feel gorgeous at Walmart, on app and online.
SpringFest deals are still in full swing at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium Color 2 cubic foot mulch for only $10. And get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $300 when you buy 2 or more select GE kitchen appliances of $396 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/16, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
I love the strings. I love, you know, when you're listening to the song too, is that, you know, it's kind of got, I like the mixing. Like, the mixing has the vibe of, like, you could put this in, like, an old, like, 90s vehicle. You know, you could play this song in one of these fucking, you know, vintage-ass radios that these, you know, older people had. Like, that's just kind of the mixing the song gives off. And I kind of like how, you know, it starts off simple. You know, I really love the build-up. You know, build-up to instrumentals is such a great factor in songs. Because, you know, when you have good build-up, when you have this nice build-up that's slowly rising, you know, that, you know, those chords are really starting to pour in, those strings are really starting to pour in. When you have that, guys, when you have this, you know, rising feeling, I love it when artists actually take this, you know, slow rise feeling, the slow build-up moment, and actually really deliver on that. So, let's just get into this. I mean, we just got to get started with the first verse. I love the first verse. The singing, Lana Del Rey. The singing is kind of, you know, like, you listen to singing, but I feel like sometimes we've lost the art, lost the art of music where singing feels a little bit too robotic. Singing feels a little bit too like, all right, clearly you put this in some fucking auto-tune type shit. For some reason, I really like the sound that Lana Del Rey has with her vocals. The vocals feel so natural. The singing hits so naturally, too. I like these moments where, even though maybe you could say the mixing on the vocals are a little bit off, I would say they add to it. They add to the vibe. Because, Lana Del Rey starts singing her heart a little bit more, and I really like how you can feel the vocals really rise up. You can feel the passion in the vocals too really rise up when you're listening to the song. This passion, this kind of rawness that these vocals have just really bring out this first verse, and I like that. I really like how the first verse is really setting up, this hook, and it's setting up a powerful hook, which, man, let's just talk about this hook right now. This hook is goddamn powerful. I was really feeling it with this damn hook. I was kind of shocked. I was kind of surprised. I was like, I've never really sat down and listened to a Lana Del Rey song before. This is my first time really reviewing Lana Del Rey. And I'm going to say I'm pretty shocked because I like how, we had this build-up. But this build-up, this climax actually happened. And so many times that I've complained on this show that some artists have, build up to this climax and this climax doesn't hit. Well, this climax hits because the guitar starts really showing out more. These strings really start, pulling together. I really love the drums. The drums are...
Wow, this house is cute. But can I really get in the game in this economy? I do have savings, and I am responsible-ish. Ugh. I should bury it. I'm being wild. But what if I'm not being wild, though? Could I actually score a...
Kick off your home buying journey with Zillow's new BuyAbility tool. It makes it easy to find out what you can afford, so you can get off the bench and onto the playing field with confidence. Check your BuyAbility, only on Zillow.
Spring is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
You're the perfect blend of elegance and style, and your ride should be no different. The 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid meets all your needs, from business to brunch and everywhere in between. With head-turning details like a sleek front end, plus stylish interior, and an available 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and seamless tech integration. Okay, Hyundai. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more about the new 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to tell you that Michelob Ultra is giving you the chance to win tickets to the NBA Finals. That's right, the 2025 NBA Finals. Just head to MichelobUltra.com/NBA Finals. Michelob Ultra Courtside NBA Finals Sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents, excluding Maryland residents. 21 up. Begins at 9 a.m. EST on February 16th, 2025. Ends on May 5th, 2025. See official rules at MichelobUltra.com/rules for price and details. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
They're mixed so well. They're mixed to a point where you hear them a little bit and you don't hear them at the same time. Like, they're really like light. Like a drummer is lightly drumming on these damn drums and just adding to this little bit of a vibe, adding to this, more sad kind of vibe. Also, too, the lyrics. Hey, I'm going to say this too. I like the lyrics. I like the flow. The storytelling that Lana Del Rey is, adding to this track really shows out on here. You're listening to the song and then, Lana Del Rey is kind of singing these phrases and, you're singing these phrases and I think these phrases can easily get stuck in your head. So the hook just is so good. And that's when Lana Del Rey starts singing her goddamn ass off, starts going absolutely insane. And I love the powerfulness with the vocals, the background vocals too. These background vocals just get bigger and bigger and bigger as you're listening and as you're enjoying the song. I really do enjoy that. I'm so glad that this song has a really nice build-up, and I love the climax of this goddamn build-up. It just goes absolutely insane in my goddamn opinion. Also, too, we do got to talk about the second verse. I mean, also, not just the second verse. I think there's honestly a few verses in this song. I would say this. The second verse is definitely more the same as the first one. That could be a problem, that could not be a problem. I'm going to say this. I like the second verse because I like how, instead of, let's switch it up on the vocal side, let's switch it up on the flow-wise, or, I talk about the flow, or I talk about this. This song's a little different. I'm not really grading it on those same scales. I'm kind of grading it on a tier of its own, if I'm going to be real with you. Because I think the second verse has a lot of small moments. And I've always said this. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot to switch up these songs. I love the small moments in the second verse. I love how when you're listening to the song, you really hear those chords start really pouring out. I love these little background vocals start, showing their little, vocals a little bit more. I also like how, the strings really start showing out now.
Since you're new to H&R Block, we'll look at your returns from the last 3 years for any money your last guy might have missed, for free.
I could get money back from last year?
You could. We'll find any mistakes.
Could have really used that 2 years ago when I dated that mistake for 5 months.
Don't leave money on the table. Switch to H&R Block and get a free second look review. Second look is included at no additional cost with the purchase of tax preparation. Results vary. All tax situations are different. Fees apply if you have us file an amended return.
So good, so good, so good.
New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Fresh kicks, spring tops, new dresses. There's always a score.
I mean, the denim section is unreal.
Why do I rack? All the dresses.
I always find something amazing.
Head to your Nordstrom Rack store to find can't-miss deals on all the spring things. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Starbucks cards are the perfect way to say, nice work. Give your team the gift of coffee when you order Starbucks cards in bulk directly from Starbucks. Whether it's a digital or physical card, celebrate employees and clients alike with designs for every occasion. Shop now at StarbucksCardB2B.com.
Hi, this is Javon, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep. I'm here to help with everything from selecting the perfect window treatments to...
Well, I've got a complicated project.
No problem. I can even help schedule a professional measure and install. We can also send you samples fast and free.
I just might have to do more.
Whatever you need.
So the first room we're looking at is for...
Shop Blinds.com now and get up to 45% off with minimum purchase. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Really hear these damn strings going off the damn rails. That guitars has a little bit more life to it, When we get to the second verse, the drums have a little bit more to it, It just really adds to the listening experience, makes it such a great, enjoyable goddamn experience. And I think I'm really surprised. And then we get to that little bridge. We get to this little bridge moment. You have this bridge moment where the guitar is just kind of the main piece, but these strings really pop out. These background vocals get even more great, and these fucking great vocals from the back, they rise even more, and they sound even goddamn better. I don't know how this song, at the same time sounds, a little familiar, a little bit of that nostalgic type of feeling, but also to be able to add a little bit something more and to honestly show that, man, it is really hard to kind of do this type of music. It's hard to make more acoustic, pop, more oriented songs, because, I look at, some TikTok songs that have this vibe. I look at some, other artists that are, a little bit more newer in the game, and, and they're trying to put out their, little version of a Lana Del Rey song, I listen to those. I've listened to these, and then it's like listening to the original, listening to the person that, set the damn standards, set the point, It's definitely like listening to that. And I think, when we talk about this song, guys, Lana Del Rey, Henry, Come On, That instrumental just goes absolutely insane. I love this.
It's time to rewrite the vacation rules. With Royal Caribbean, your family can look forward to just about anything. Break the thrill barrier, roaring down the tallest water slide in North America. Jump into breathtaking jungles and jaw-dropping coves. Vibe off the charts on our private island Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And end the day knowing things are just getting started. Because this isn't just any vacation. This is all the vacations. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
BTW FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radio pain. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
Strings, I love the guitar, I love the piano, I love the background vocals, I love all the elements. That first verse, that hook is just so infectious with those vocals, with those background vocals too. The passion, the rawness, just going absolutely insane in my goddamn opinion. And honestly, I am honestly shocked and surprised that I really enjoyed this song as I did. So overall, I love this song. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, what y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. And guys, go check out this goddamn song if you haven't. And if you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow, turn on notifications. Guys, hey, look, it was a little bit of a slow week last week. You know, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't want to review. This week's a little bit different, all right? We got a lot more content coming out this weekend and week, so make sure you follow. I'll see y'all later. You have a good one. Yeah, guys. Bye.